G'day guys, Andrew from The Quiet Achiever here today. All right, like I said, the squeaky wheel gets the oil, and the governments obviously have started listening. They're making it a lot easier, or they've made it a bit easier for businesses to access the funding. So the 15K grant, accessing the money, so payroll. So if you've got guys that work for you, they've made it a bit easier and they've made it quicker to get the money through. So I'm actually receiving emails right now. I've got about 5 or 6 emails from people that have said, hey, we've started getting the payments, thanks so much. So obviously that side of things is working, so that's great. So today, guys, what I want to do is I just want to explain a little bit to business owners about understanding, what they need to do to actually get this support, because it's not going to come to you. And I can't stress that enough. Never before, it's unprecedented, never before have we seen governments open their wallet and support businesses in any measure. So what I'm starting to see is I'm seeing a lot of businesses that kind of don't know if they qualify and aren't getting clear around it, and definitely are not chasing it. And that's really important, because what you've got to understand is that small business in this country is actually going to carry us out of all the drama that the economy is facing at the moment. So we're going to be expected to pay it all back. And it's probably going to be through things like increases to GST, increases to company tax and the like. So if you aren't getting the support now when you actually need it, it's very silly. So I urge you guys to really take a good look at the support that's out there. I'm going to run through some of that right now, and really make a bit of an effort to try and get that money, because if you can get an extra 10, 15, 20K in the bank right now when it's really difficult, if you can minimize your expenses and your outgoings, so speaking to your landlord if you've got a factory, or trying to reduce your rent that way, your expenses that way. Look, speaking to all your accounts if you've got debtors and stuff that you owe money to, maybe putting it on a payment plan. Now, it's important to do this stuff early on in the piece. Don't wait until you're absolutely desperate to actually put these measures in place, because there's nothing worse than trying to, you need to dig the well before you get thirsty, right? So by doing this, by putting these measures in place, you're going to ensure your business can survive the tough period and actually come out the other side ahead of other businesses and ahead of your competitors. So be smart about the way that you do things. So another thing to consider is that, I understand that, sometimes you're just a chippy, or you're an electrician, you've got a couple of guys, you don't really think that you're that business savvy, or you might not, sort of be up to date with what's going on online. Please send me a message. There are ways around things, right? You're not in business to become an expert. You're not in business to be an accountant. You're not in business to, know everything about, all the ins and outs about how to get the support, but you need to do something about trying to get the support, whether or not that's you, or looking around and building a team, or getting people in that can help you. Because if you can get, like a financial advisor or accountancy group that can actually do the work for you, do the legwork for you, and actually get these grants and payments, you might spend $1,500 or $2,000 or whatever, but you might get 20 grand back. So be smart about how you do it, and don't put it off. I really urge you guys to just, if you haven't applied, get in there and have a crack. And if anything's overwhelming, feel free to PM me directly, and I'll help you through it. I don't want to go through all the the technical aspects of how to actually go around that. But if you're pretty much close, if you've suffered a decline in your turnover, if you are having problems with cash flow at the moment as a result of COVID, which everyone is, as a knock-on effect. So just because you're not classified as an industry that's been hard hit, doesn't mean that you're not eligible for these support payments. Pretty much every small business I know has been affected some way. So there are definitely ways around it. So don't just be scared that if you're not meeting that criteria that you can't apply for the payments. There are ways around it. So again, just feel free to send me a message, and I'll put you in touch with the right people that'll help you guys out. Yeah, like I said, dig the well before you get thirsty, because right now it's only getting worse. We've just seen the latest lockdown announcements. There's curfews. There's all kinds of crazy things that are happening at the moment. And what does that mean for small business? Well, it means a bit of uncertainty. So get a bit smart about the way that you're operating now. Start trying to reduce your expenses now. Have those conversations with your landlords, your accountants, your debtors, to try and mitigate that risk to your business now and try and get that cash in. So what I mean by that is obviously trying to take advantage of everything you can from the government. So federal government, state government, any of the payroll and the grants that are on offer, go for them. Apply for all of them. If you don't know how to do it, get someone to do it for you, like an accountant. If you don't have an accountant, send me a message, okay? Because there's a bit of money there that'll help you. What else do I mean? It also means about being smart about your marketing mechanism. So a lot of businesses that I know, you know, it's either feast or famine. So you guys are either flat out and you're taking on too much work, or you're dead. There's nothing out there. That's not really a marketing strategy. That's not how you build a business. And you can't really forecast anything. So you need to get your marketing sides of things in order as well. Again, I'm not going to touch too much on it today. I will be sort of getting into specifics with the more content that I'm doing. But today's more about just touching base and having a quick chat to you about the things that I think will help your business not only survive this period, but come out the other side flying. So getting a marketing strategy, like if you don't have a CRM, if you don't know what a CRM is, you need to get familiar with this stuff. We're in 2021. It's not the 1950s. Gone are the days where you could just say, hey, listen, I'm just a chippy. I'm not good with computers. Like, you kind of need to get up to speed with it, because otherwise, you know, there's 50 other guys that will. So, and there's a lot of stuff out there that's there to help you. There's a lot of great free software that you can sort of pick up pretty quickly. And again, you don't have to know every aspect of everything, but you do have to sort of be switched on enough to be, and and motivated enough to actually want to figure some things out and improve your business generally. So, starting to have a look at these things now while we've got these lockdowns in place is really important. Why is it important? Well, I'll tell you why. Because everyone's customer is right here. The way that you're watching me now, it's all online. So everyone's on their phone, everyone's on their iPad, everyone's on the computer. If your messaging isn't in front of that person, that's kind of, you're sort of digging your own grave, right? So you need to be in front of people online, but it needs to be done in a way that's not sort of, boring the shit out of everyone either, right? So getting smart about a bit of a marketing strategy now is going to set you up, for years to come. And not only that, you don't want to wait until there's no work. You want to sort of be putting that in place now. If you're busier now than ever before, that's the best time to actually start looking at your marketing. Start looking at the whole approach, because if you're that busy, you should have a little bit of cash flow coming into the business. With this COVID situation at the moment, that means that you've got more room and a bit more time, because people aren't so, people are a lot more understanding. So you can back off the work a little bit, still be busy, and actually focus on the things that will make your business last. So, like I said, things like your marketing, you need to be working on your business so that you can get the most out of it in the next few months, and when we come out of this whole COVID bullshit. So, all right, guys, so that's it from me. I just wanted to touch base. Thanks again for joining the group. Really appreciate it. Feel free to put a comment down below. If there's something that you want me to have a chat about, or you want me to go in depth about as well, please feel free to mention it. Also, if you've got friends that have businesses and or in the trade businesses that think that I might be able to help through some of my content, feel free to tell them about the page as well. But other than that, guys, stay safe out there. We will get through all this, and yeah, hopefully business isn't doing too bad for you. I'll speak to you guys soon. Cheers.